I think I would put Watch Dogs Legion above Watch Dogs 2. I'm so much more attached to the city of the game and also the setting the city is in. So in this video, I want to talk about the big key parts why I think Watch Dogs Legion is so much better than Watch Dogs 2 and obviously compare the games. Make sure to like the video and let's get the video to 500 likes. Subscribe and ring the bell for more Watch Dogs Legion and let's get right into the video, guys. So one of the big key parts in Watch Dogs Legion that has never been done in the Watch Dogs series before is obviously that you can recruit every single character around the entire game. And this is for sure a very big game changer. This idea wasn't originally going to be in the game, but because of the situation back in 2020 in March, Ubisoft did not want to release the game back then because it could actually impacted the sales in a massive way with an unstable market at the time. But after all, giving Watch Dogs Legion extra time in the oven really did it justice. It keeps it more fun and interesting and also gives you more reason to explore London City. So while playing the story missions in Watch Dogs Legion, you can play with any character you want to play with, making it hard or pretty much impossible to really have a connection to the character in the storyline. But at the same time, it is really cool that this game doesn't have a main character. Like, which game does that? So Watch Dogs 2, we did have a main character, which was obviously Marcus Holloway, which didn't really look like an aggressive killer in my opinion, more like a friendly neighbor. And to be completely honest, I didn't really have that huge connection with Marcus Holloway in Watch Dogs 2 because he was kind of a softie, and in the missions you were like brutally killing people if you decided to not go in stealth mode, and then in the next cutscene you was like all happy and didn't really look like a killer to me. So as a character that they set in a story, that is pretty weird though. But if you now play with a character that literally doesn't fit the story, it is more fun and not awkward at the same time. Watch Dogs 2 was based in California, in a very colorful city. Not really something that you would expect from a sequel. Looking at Watch Dogs 1 for example, Watch Dogs 1 was very dark themed, just like Watch Dogs Legion is now. A post-apocalyptic world is something that you would expect much more from a Watch Dogs game. And I personally have never been in San Francisco before, so that really didn't help my experience neither. While exploring London, I really feel the post-apocalyptic vibe there, you know, the restrictions, you know, you have Albion guards literally beating up people and arresting them on the streets as you're walking by. And don't get me wrong, because Watch Dogs 2 also has a very beautiful world with all the colors, the sunny sunset, the blue sky and all that, but I don't really feel like it does fit in. If there's one thing that is massively improved in Watch Dogs Legion, it must be the driving mechanics. In Watch Dogs 1 and 2, the driving mechanics were seriously just terrible. Steering in the game was like so awful, and then the camera angle also didn't really help because you had no idea where you were heading. It made it almost impossible to have just a little bit of fun while driving around the city. I mean, accelerating and just driving along a road, there was nothing to worry about, but once steering came into play, it was really awful. It is very clear that Watch Dogs Legion has the best driving mechanics so far in a Watch Dogs game, and it also really surprised me when I played the game before it was out. Watch Dogs Legion also leveled up the game when it comes to drone usage. In Watch Dogs 2, we could already go ahead and fly around with drones to hack and also inspect areas, but in Watch Dogs Legion, we are taking this to a whole other level. I mean, it's one thing to have an overview of everything that's going on, and it's another thing to use, for example, a cargo drone to get on top of the roof very fast. It is for sure very helpful and a whole lot better than in Watch Dogs 2, but a cargo drone is still not a vehicle that will get you from one point to the other point of the map. After you complete the storyline in Watch Dogs Legion, Legion, there is still ETO as well as tag points to find, as well as all the mosques in the entire world. In Watch Dogs 2, there were at least 25 different side missions that you could do once you finish the game or throughout. But in Watch Dogs Legion, that is very less. There are only a couple of side missions, and they will actually pop up again after you've done that to run the same cycle. Watch Dogs Legion, the storyline takes you about like 20 hours to complete. And then there are also collectibles around the map, which will take you probably around like 10 hours in total. So what's going on here is that if you did play the game for like 30 hours and you really did focus on completing all the objectives, you literally run out of content pretty fast. And I know you can go ahead and recruit all the characters that you want in your team and find the more secret type of characters as well, but what are you going to do with them once you've done that when there are literally no missions or challenges to counter? And it's not like Watch Dogs 2 has a limited amounts of content, because 25 side missions at some point are done as well, and what are you going to do next? And I mean, even if you did complete those side missions, all of them right away, you also had the online mode of the game with several modes that you can go ahead and play right away. And with Watch Dogs Legion, that literally took a very long time. So when Watch Dogs 2 released, you directly had a good game that you didn't really need to update, and you could directly play and do everything you wanted to do in the game. But with Watch Dogs Legion, that went a whole lot different. The release of Watch Dogs Legion went just totally different because the game kept constantly crashing even before the release of the game. So this is even before the day one patch, and I really did think the day one patch would actually fix those issues, but it ended up being a very long story where Ubisoft had to take months and months to get crashes, glitches and bugs out of the game for all the players. And I'm not directly saying that this totally ruined everyone's experience, but there were even people that had their game files deleted and have to replay loads of different parts of the story. Although I do think that Watch Dogs Legion is the best out of the two here, Watch Dogs 2 for sure had a more flawless launch. I seriously think that you will be better off recruiting as much characters as you can as early as possible, because then you will have a wide variety of weapons and special abilities that you can use in a middle of a side mission or maybe even in the story missions. That is definitely the better way to play. Watch Dogs Legion is just lacking some things in the open world aspect. I mean, we have London City perfectly remade. It looks amazing. I constantly want to be there, constantly want to drive there. But on top of that, there are no activities, you know, there are no missions, there's nothing to do now. And that is really something that Watch Dogs Legion is lacking. Will probably change though when the online mode of the game is out, because then you can constantly play in London yourself with your friends and do all the challenges and online modes that there will be. Let me know down below in the comments what you would like to see in Watch Dogs Legion. If you found this video helpful in any way, hit the like and also subscribe and ring the bell for more Watch Dogs Legion videos. I got 2 more Watch Dogs Legion videos on the screen, one for you to click on. This is me, Boy Cheese. I'm out. Peace.